Hello, so we are going to talk about one of my favorite films of the New York Film Festival, the 63rd New York Film Festival held here in Manhattan. It has gone from September 26th through October 13th, so you still have a few more days when this video is posted. And I have been posting like crazy because a lot of now keep in mind the festival's still going on, but I'm trying to hurry and get these reviews out for you because a lot of these films are being released this weekend. So I wanted to hurry and do this and share with you my thoughts on Anemone. So Anemone is actually one of my favorites for many reasons. A lot of people would call it an artsy film. I would agree with that. I love artsy type films because I feel like they have a little bit more depth and they are a lot more thought-provoking. So I love a good artsy film. This is one of the reasons why I do love a lot of international and foreign films. And I just like films that you continue to think about long after you've watched them. And Anemone is one of those films, in my opinion. So I knew I was gonna like it before I even saw it because my man, Daniel Day-Lewis, is in the film. And it has been a while since we have seen him on the screen. The last one that he did was Phantom Thread, which I also liked. I typically like Daniel Day-Lewis's film. I think he is a phenomenal person, actor, just so interesting and just has a lot to him, very wise, and I really like him. I love to hear him speak. And his son, Ronan Day-Lewis, is just 27, and he graduated from Yale with a Bachelor of Arts degree, and he is an artist. He's had successful exhibitions in Hong Kong, and he has not really done a full feature, directorial debut. He's done like a short film and I think a video, but I don't know that he's done a full-length feature, mainstream film. So I loved the idea of this, that this was Ronan Day-Lewis and Daniel Day-Lewis working together. They actually wrote the screenplay as well, which I love. And get this, I just think this is so wonderful and old school. Even though Ronan is just 27, he agreed to this, and I don't know whose idea it was, but when the two of them were writing the screenplay, they would only write it when they were in the room together. So it's not like one was in, LA and another one's in London and they're like, getting on a Zoom and sharing their ideas. They actually were together in a room and able to talk about things right as they were writing them. And I just love that. I love that. It's a very old-fashioned way to do things. And I hope that young people learn from this because there's something about just being face-to-face and exchanging ideas. So I loved that. And I also loved the film because of Ronan's artist background. You get the artist feel right when the film starts. This is some of the most magnificent cinematography visuals that I have ever seen on a film. And I have been to many a festival. I've been going, I used to go to the Telluride festival back in the 90s. So I've always loved a good film festival for many years. And I love seeing different films. So anyway, I knew right off the bat this was going to be something special from the minute the film started, because for the first probably 5-10 minutes, you are just engulfed in this scene, and it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So with that being said, I highly recommend you see this film on the big screen. This is one of those movies that I think would be greatly appreciated, even more so if you see it on the big screen. There are some really beautiful visual shots, and I just loved it. And so his artist background really came through in the movie, which was really cool to see, which I don't know, you know, I don't know a lot of artists, you know, painting artists or whatever that have then gone into movies. So it was really neat to see these two worlds of his merge, and to think that he's only 27. I mean, things are just gonna continue to elevate from here. There's no doubt about it. And so they wrote it together. They worked together in the film because Daniel Day-Lewis is one of the main stars. And then there is a gentleman named Sean Bean, who is one of the main characters. And there is another actress, Samantha Morton. Everyone was phenomenal. I really, really thought the acting was superb in this, including, Daniel Day-Lewis's son, not Ronan, but in the film, I really thought he was a great actor as well. And this film is really a deep dive in what I consider to be unresolved trauma. And you might remember, if you've watched one of my other videos here, that I think it needs to be discussed that this is disability in film, because for the last few years, I have become more aware of disability in film. And I don't mean physical disabilities. I'm talking about situations like this, where it is what trauma can do to the body, and unresolved trauma and pain and depression and all of those things on screen. Disability in film, as far as like physical disabilities, is typically very underrepresented in the film industry. In fact, a lot of parts of people with physical disabilities are not played by actual disabled people, which is not good, but it is getting better, slowly but surely. But so I wanted to celebrate the positive of this, that I feel like this shines a light on mental health disability. And you may not realize that mental health disabilities are the largest category of disability. So 1 in 6 people in the United States has a mental health disability. So typically mental health disabilities are invisible. So they could be alcoholism, eating disorder, substance abuse, major depressive disorder, ADHD, OCD, schizophrenia, all of these things. And so this is really a case of, I'm struggling with what to do with this review, on whether to do spoilers or not. I'm just going to kind of wing it and see where my thoughts take me, but I'm going to try to not reveal too much because I really want you to see it. But you need to know that Daniel Day-Lewis plays a recluse, and he has become a recluse because of the trauma that he has experienced in his life. And he plays his part to a T on what he has experienced, the pain that he feels expressing himself. And it's just really an Oscar performance, in my opinion. And Sean Bean plays his brother, who comes to visit Daniel Day-Lewis as a recluse. And so you get to, there's so many layers to this film, because you have the relationship between brothers and what, you know, when you're a child, what your relationship is, and then growing up and your adult relationship. You have a relationship between father and son, Daniel Day-Lewis and his son, that he has not seen for 20 years. I don't think that's giving too much away. And Daniel Day-Lewis also dealt with some other trauma before he even has been gone for 20 years, which I don't think I'm going to get into that, but that is also a major situation that he dealt with at a young age. So I just loved this film because of the other tie-in of faith. So I am a Christian. I was raised in the South, so I have my Catholic, roots. I definitely am open to pretty much all religion. I just believe there is a higher power. But the reason why I bring that up is because this really touched on the impact of religion in your belief system, in how you cope with stress, how you cope with forgiveness, and all of that was very powerful. To give you an example, the opening scene, or one of the opening scenes, is you see, I think it's Daniel Day-Lewis. It might be the brother. Anyway, the point is there's this back, and all it says is, "Only God can judge me." It's a tattoo on his back. And that really, this is what I mean about the, I would love to watch it again, because I feel like there was so much symbolism in so many parts. And, there's just so many wonderful scenes. This is a film that you can tell that every single word, camera shot, conversation, anything that happened was truly thought out, and it shows. I think this is a 10 for 10 movie. I can't wait to hear if you liked it or did not like it. If you didn't like it, you can tell me why. If you did like it, you can also tell me that too. I love to hear people's opinions, but 10 for 10 in my book of Anemone, and I would see it again right now. And again, it is released. It was released, limited release, October 3rd, and now it will be out October 10th everywhere, and it is by Focus Features. So go see Anemone. Support our little family father-son dynamic here, and let me know what you think. Come to me again to see the next films that I'm going to review. Thanks for watching. Bye.